Long day lay me low.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We got a Celsius today. I really love the wild berry one. The wild berry, it's delicious. It's the best one, really. Keeps you energized, keeps you going, got some nutrients and vitamins. We got a great show. Determined. This man's a very determined man, for sure. Determined to get great books, great comics, great stories. They're not all comics. I've had books on here before too. Novellas, if you will. I think you will. Sometimes you will. Angela's not here because she had to make eggs right whenever we're about to go live. So there's no other better time to make eggs. Oh.
I got the right when you went, hi. Happy Sunday.
Making eggs right when we go live.
Eat.
That's always
I'm hungry. It's been a weird day.
It's
enough about me.
It's a weird day when it ends in Y. What's going on, Angela?
That's a good point. Not much. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing superfluous. I don't think that's the right word.
You've got a coffee anyway. And a Celsius.
Always. Yeah, we try to that's why I usually have to use the restroom afterwards, because this has caffeine in it, that has caffeine in it, and yeah. But no,
double fisting.
This mainly for the taste, obviously. The wild berry is smooth, it's nice. I like it. There's a strawberry watermelon that's quite delicious too. Watermelon's good. Delicious. I don't like the ones that are overly bitter. Like orange is super, like it just hits you hard. The lemon ones hit you hard.
I get it.
This was nice, and we got a great show today.
Yeah, let's talk more about beverages. I think Odin.
Let's leave him backstage. Yeah, talk more about back there. Yeah, delicious beverages. I can see him back there. He's probably enjoying a nice, delicious beverage as well.
If not, he better go get one.
Yeah, run out to your car real quick and get him, Odin. No, we're gonna let him on.
You're joking. You're just gonna be like, oh yeah, go run up to your car and go grab a drink. Go do a thing.
Go through a beverage drive. Do you guys have those like beverage drive-through things? Like it's kind of like a car wash type thing. You drive into it, and then a guy comes out to you. He's like, "What do you want?" And you just say what you want.
That's Ohio, because every other state I've lived in, I've not seen that. It's so wonderful.
Like what kind of beverage?
You get your chips. You can get your beers. Your Coke.
You can get alcohol. You can get
whatever.
You can get. They will give you open containers of alcohol.
Not open. No. It's
like a 12-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was about to say, like, whoa.
Bottle of red, bottle of white.
I was living weird.
But
boxed wine, even.
Who's to stop you from opening it once you pull away?
I mean,
that's fair.
Very good point.
So yeah, I always found it humorous. It's like, yeah, you could also go into a grocery store, come out and open a can in your car. But still, I always thought it was funny. Like you pull into these things and they give you, you can buy like a 40 ounce of malt liquor even and drive away. It's like, who's to say you're not going to crack that the second you pull? It's hilarious. I don't. But the great thing about them is, like Angela was saying, you can go through and get chips. You get snacks. You can get a whole bunch of different things. So they are very convenient.
I should have opened one of those up when I was in Kansas City, even, because that would have been huge there.
Well,
Midwest.
And that's essentially what it is. It's a drive-through convenience store.
Yeah.
It's really what it is. So
you don't have to get out of your car. We'll come to you.
Yeah, that's right. But
so enough about beverages.
Well, speaking of coming to us, we have a chat.
Hey. Yeah, we have Creators Outlet was first today. Cheers, Creative. I don't know where they are, but anyway, yeah, Henry Bemis is here.
The Bemis.
Always.
Jay here complaining about women again, as usual.
Jay is a very angry man. I heard him the other night ranting and raving about comic books. He hates comic books.
Is he raving about how women don't know how clock works or time works?
No, he wasn't talking about women. He was just talking about everything that we love, he hates.
And never forget Mo Biggs. Hail, Mo Biggs. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see Mo in a bit.
And Jolly. So you're going to say that name. Jolly's here.
Jolly?
Jolly's here.
He is like the jolliest.
So jolly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Contest.
This is a handsome contest. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, Jay was ranting. Oh, yeah, when does Jay not rant? I mean,
Yeah,
to be honest.
he was on a bender. Is it a bender or a binder?
Jason needs to experience bikini baristas. Oh, that's a good point. I don't think they have those here. Those are very common on the West Coast,
I was going to
particularly.
say, I don't think it's very
That's
common.
insane.
Yeah, I don't think it's very common in Northeast Ohio where it's winter 8 months of the year.
I mean, we're in a pretty, like, particularly the Pacific Northwest is a little chilly, and they still, and they're, they might have mittens on, but, they're
A
wearing
little
bikinis.
chilly? I mean, we get in the negatives for a long period of time.
Yeah, that's true, but it makes money. That's what heaters are for. Heater, and the coffee's hot.
What's what I got here? Is you live in the Northeast, right, Odin? Not the docks,
ish. I live in Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too
That's
bad. Is that why? Yeah, that's why
Hey,
you're at what?
Palace is here. Sorry.
Oh, what's up, Paul? No, we're saying hi to people.
What's up?
No, that's why I saw you at Baltimore, right? You just
yeah, no, like I that's why I hang out around all that. Are you going to be at Baltimore this year?
No, I'm not doing Baltimore, but I did get accepted into Heroes. I sent my payment, so hopefully I'll be on the list. So yeah, I did get accepted, which
accepted
is good.
Where?
Heroes Con.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
I said it on Topicless.
I
Thanks for watching the show, Angela. Thank you for watching the show. I really appreciate your
good
views.
Lord.
Helping getting everyone watch hours. That's fine.
Well, no, like sometimes people have a life. Hi, Hall dear. Good to see you.
Hey, I open your sumo streams, mute them, and give you watch hours at least. Okay, you don't even do that. You're like, screw Luke. He doesn't need watch hours.
Oh no, it was your channel. I said screw you. You don't need to.
No, it was on Luke's this week.
No, it was yours this week.
Oh, it was mine. Oh yeah, I don't care about mine then.
Yeah. What good would bikini baristas do, Jason? Unless when he mentions he's vision impaired, they let him see with his hands. Oh
my God. Yeah, that's how blind people.
I mean, there you go, Jason. You can the blind card. You just
Yeah, they'll be happy to see me drive up and be like,
she got accepted. Jason got accepted to Heroes University. Dun, dun, dun.
So
today, Hockey.
What's up, Hockey? Hockey, I was in the pit last night.
Wow.
You weren't there.
Anyway, okay.
No, that's so. Are you doing any? You just said you got back from a con, right?
Yeah, I just finished up Shenandoah Comic Con. It's a small one. It's like a day long event, but I was there. Hojo was also there. It was really cool. We actually had booths like right across from one another. So lots of walking back and forth and giving each other shit. But like it was a good convention. It was really nice because it's a smaller convention. So like the people there are actually there for like comics and not there because their like favorite actor of all time is there to get signatures and what have you. It's really nice.
And that's the thing. Like Baltimore was my first like big convention. I've done a couple smaller cons, but Baltimore's and the stark contrast between the two is you're right, because I did better at the one day shows that were very small that are in my area. Sales wise, I did better, like way better than a 3-day con with a whole bunch of people and all this stuff. And a lot of, like you said, a lot of people are there for like the actors and stuff. And I also do get they are there for like Chris Claremont, David Finch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big names. I do get that, but still it is more about comics like in those smaller cons. And that's why I still love doing those. Even just being outside my LCS, for like 7 hours or 6 hours.
I'm doing a parking lot convention, I think in May, like that's at one of my local comic book shops as well. Like very much very excited for that. Like it's a really good time. You get to connect with the people in your local area, but yeah, everyone's there for comics.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been to. I don't like doing the outdoor ones because mainly I hate the sun and also wind. Like for artists, wind is not a good factor when it comes to like being out. It's not fun. Yeah. But I've done a few festivals and stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm not doing these ever again. The festivals. Not you know.
I don't blame you. I was at a lot convention this past October, my local comic book store did a Halloween lot convention where people would get dressed up and what have you, and it was pretty windy, and so I was like trying to figure out how to maintain my display and not have comics fly all over the place.
Yeah, lots of rocks, maybe.
Yeah, and you're right, Angela. It is. It's like a lot of like weights or rocks or like you know stuff like that, paperweights, and that's why I stopped doing the festivals. They're all outside. Not only that, like it's not like I do. This was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. I was doing the festivals, maybe even longer, but I didn't have as much comic book work out because I've only been drawing the indie comics and doing the indie comics for like 5 years now. So before then, it was mainly just a lot of like just weird pieces, like stuff that would take me like a month to do, like just crazy, just out the wall thing. And you've seen them, yeah. And the problem with that is my stuff fits more like a horror, not a horror, but a horror convention. Stuff like this is creepier with festivals, dude. People go to festivals and they want like, I like windmills. It's like, I don't do landscapes. I'm sorry. It's not like I don't do like little flowers and stuff, still lives. And people will walk by and be like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, just, you don't have to say anything. Just go away. And that's why like you kind of have to cater though to your actual audience. And that's why I like cons, because even at a comic book convention, let's say I only had one comic book out and I had the rest of my weird, wacky stuff. It still draws a crowd because it's more to that scene, So, and you have how many comics do you have out now, Odin?
Jesus. So at my table we had Judex. Nice. We had the preview for Elysian Fields Reborn. I also had my proofs with me to show people that it was done. So if they went back to Kickstarter,
showcase that in a minute.
They knew it's a finished product. So we had those two. We had obviously the Embrace. SPQR's Bizarre Adventure, and then I also had at my table American Bliss from Genuine Comics, because I'm the writer on that book, and then I have copies of Aquila the Phoenix Guard because I was the editor and art director on that book.
Well, aren't you also the editor of Fiendish 2?
Yes, and 2.5 and 3.
2.5? Yeah, we quite frequently have Rushbrook on Topic List, who's the artist from 2.5. So great dude.
Yeah, he does fantastic work.
Dude, he's amazing. Like he's amazing. I really like. I mean, Irene's great too. I'm not trying to slight Irene at all, but he kind of captured Irene's style for 2.5. But if you look at his other stuff, it's not like that. So he was able to adapt and stuff like that. Irene's fantastic. I tried to even set the stream up. You go live often. And by the way, everyone, if you want to just check out Elysian Fields and not listen to us, link is in the top of the chat and the description below, along with Odin's information. But Odin you have a YouTube channel. You know how it works. You can redirect after the stream is over to certain people. I tried to redirect Irene. I was going to, but it's like in a drawing stream. It looks like, but it says upcoming. And there's just black, like it's a black icon and I went to her channel and I couldn't even find it. So I didn't want to redirect people to. Man. So please stay tuned after this. You will go to K-Pop's channel. She's going to have a great individual on to show another book. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
YouTube unsubscribe me from your channel, Odin.
What?
Yeah.
That's not uncommon. Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
No, that's happened quite a bit.
Yeah, I heard.
It was I was subscribed to Couch Doodles for the longest time, and it unsubscribed me from there. So yeah, I don't know. That channel got nuked, and once it came back, I had to either way. But I have had to resubscribe to people. I don't know why YouTube does it. Like I'll notice, I'll be like, wow, Angela hasn't gone live in a while. What happened? And I'm like, oh well, granted, she goes live for the sumo stuff. But either way, as an example, and I'll go in and be like, wow, I know I'm subscribed. So yeah, and it just unsubscribes you. I don't understand it. Yeah. What I think it might be also is if you don't watch them for a good period of time. So she just doesn't watch you.
So basically what it's saying, I don't really watch you at all. But I did just subscribe to all.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't done any streaming in a hot minute.
That's probably why. See? That's why. No,
go ahead, Angela.
No, I'm just saying I wonder subscribing to all. I've been doing that more lately too, because anyway.
No,
I
see,
see.
I turn the bell off for quite a lot of people because I'm subscribed to so many that I would just get nuked
so
on my
many.
phone. It would just go haywire. So there's only a couple people I kind of keep it alerted to, but it's mainly the people who I stream with. That way I'm not over streaming them or like doing anything like that accidentally, you know. And it's the internet. You're going to overstream. Nobody owns it. Like, and it's fine if you do. But like if Odin's live, I don't want to go live too because we share an audience. So, you know, and people will bounce back and forth, but I would rather people watch Odin than just watch my stupidness of just drawing a dumb layout, you know, and saying, blah, hey, I got comic books. Like, you actually have content. You go over like history and Rome and stuff. Is that like your main topic throughout all of your live streams, or do you do different things?
So, like, I had a couple of shows going for a while. We had a Napoleon show that I did with Aldous. I had one in Rome that I was doing with Matt Krotz, and then he had to back out. And so then Miranda and I were doing it for a while. And then I just, like, both Miranda and I were going through stuff. And so it was just like, okay, neither of us were like, had like the physical or emotional energy to just hop on a show.
Right.
At that point, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, like I talk about a whole bunch of stuff. For a while, I was doing like, I had a show that I was doing where I would go and, you know, I did a series of shows I called mainstream dumpster diving, where I would go through and I'd pick up some books from the mainstream and like do reviews.
What, like a quarter bins and 50-cent bins or something? Is that what?
No, like just see what was out in like the current market and see if there was anything decent.
I like that,
because at that point in time there was there wasn't a lot really coming out that was good, and so every now and again you'd get something that was genuinely good and it would be fun to talk about, and then there were also ones where like they were really not good, and so we didn't talk. We would talk about them and destroy them. Like I remember we had Neff was on for one episode where we were talking about I think it was Starhenge was what it was called. It was
with Liam Sharp.
With Liam Sharp, yeah. We did the first issue, and both of like everyone like tore it apart, and Neff especially went fucking off.
See, I got Starhenge because of the artwork.
Like, it's very pretty, and like the pitch was really cool, but like, man. Like I remember reading like the first 5 or 10 pages, and he's like straight up quoting like Vulgate Saga, Arthurian legend. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about this. Let's go. And then it just fucking nosedives into assholeville from a storytelling aspect. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done.
Did Liam Sharp also write it?
Yeah, he wrote and drew it.
Well, see, he's a fantastic artist, like illustrator, painter. Like, he's amazing. I actually, he was in one of the people that I had in mind to do the Frog G2 variant, but we just can't afford people like that. But I've never read any of his work. To me, and this is where it gets in. Like, we make fun, like Inkspots and I will make fun of writers. You've seen it, Odin. We joke around like, oh, writers, who needs them, blah blah blah. But there's a good instance. Like, not every artist and everyone out there can write. There is a skill set involved in doing storytelling and developing characters and knowing where to lead the things to get them to the next point. And there are some artists that just can't do it. They're great with storytelling as far as, you know, visuals go. Like, they could tell a story like with no one's business with camera angles and, you know, leading panel to panels and all that other fun stuff. When it comes to dialogue and actual just in-depth narrative, some people just can't do it. And that's why you need people like an Odin, you know, and stuff like that. So whenever you read something like that, especially with that, because that delved into Arthurian legend, you said. So
when was that book out? Real quick, when was this book out?
Oh man,
it was maybe like
22.
It was like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
ago.
It was right as we were getting
started coming around.
I highly recommend it if you want to look at some cool illustrations, some cool art.
Yeah, no, like the artwork in it is very pretty, but like the story is absolute dog shit.
But that is kind of a saving grace, because in comics anyway, like if you're like, oh, the story is just terrible, but at least the art's good. Like, and you can go flip. You can go flip. You're like, oh, this art's terrible, but man, this story is off the chain. Like the characters are awesome, and you want to get the next one. So it can work. Now, obviously, you want the mesh of the two. You want the great art, great story. Like that's
Oh,
no.
Dave is saying most artists can write just like most writers can't draw.
Yeah,
Most artists can't write. Excuse me.
And there's nothing wrong with being a hired gun. Like I've
No.
seen plenty of artists that they're hired and then they draw their thing and then that's it. And they don't want to do their own book or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I sometimes like that because you don't have to really think all that much. You can just be like, you're good at like I said, telling a story through panels and through artwork. So you know your strengths and you're playing into them.
I mean, time-wise, sorry.
No, what?
Time-wise, I would say being the writer and then having someone else draw it, that could cut back on a lot of the delays and stuff. I mean,
well, like,
I think that would be the only reason, but
and here's kind of a thing like Ink Spots that I get into in a slight, like writers have the fortunate aspect of pumping out more work faster because they write and it's faster. Like I'm not slighting a writer at all, and you know how it is. Like writing a comic is a lot faster than drawing a comic.
Oh, 100%. Like I mean, I would say that it honestly depends as well, because there are sometimes writers get stalls in their writing as well, where
writer's
like you
block,
hit the creative. Like I think writer's block is more of a thing of, and I think most writers wouldn't admit this, but it's mainly a thing of when you focus on one thing for too long, you start to get bored with it. And so you need a second to kind of step back, get some distance, explore other things, and then come back, right?
What's one thing you do to get over writer's block?
If I hit and I like to call it the creative wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because writer's block is like it's one of those things where the writing community is very superstitious, right? Like you hear someone say that, it's like, oh fuck, somebody's got writer's block. So I like to call it the creative wall. When I hit the creative wall, I go pencils down for a day. I just watch I watch shows, I listen to podcasts, listen to music and everything like that. And I just completely tune out. And then the next day I go in and I start writing something completely different. Like doesn't even necessarily even have to be like a script or anything like that. Doing like a little writer's exercise or something like that, just to get the juices flowing. And then usually that ends up hitting but sometimes that doesn't even work. The real only thing that you need is time and distance, right? Is because what eventually happens is that whether it's the next day or 2 weeks from then, you get like an epiphany just randomly, and it hits you, and you go, "Okay, that's it." And then you go and you just start going full speed ahead. At least that's how it is for me.
Now, do you find sometimes block and you start watching like Monk? Do you find sometimes maybe if you watch that, some of that concepts, ideas, or dialogue might accidentally seep into what you were working on?
So generally speaking, when I'm watching TV shows, I try to kind of disconnect, I kind of try to like disconnect the brain, especially like if I'm like doing binging of old TV shows. I have like comfort shows, what have you. So I'm not watching those things to get like ideas or anything like that. I'm doing that literally to turn my brain off. And so, yeah, like I don't usually have as much as that. What I will say is that every now and again, I'll read a book or I'll read a comic and it'll be like, oh man, this is really like the way that the author handled this conflict or handled this is something that I think is really good. Or even ironically, when you see someone do something wrong in a book, you go, oh man, I could have handled this way better. And it might even be a cool thing for me to implement into my own story.
Right. And yeah, it's like, I think creators said it, right? Where you can work on multiple projects, at a time also. And that way you can jump between.
Absolutely.
Dave.
Yeah.
Kill Dave.
Yeah. Now, what are some of your escapisms as far as like taking a break from writing, and like if you hit a even block or just you want to have watch a show like or a movie, like what are some of your
watching TV shows, movies, listening?
Yeah, what are some of your
oh
shows?
man, so like one of my comfort shows is just like a show that I've watched it so many times and I just will have it on in the background to kind of like unwind, is How I Met Your Mother. Like, just have a blast of that. It's fun. It's mindless. I don't really need to pay attention to it, but when I do pay attention, it'll it'll be either fun or there's some pretty solid emotional beats.
Did I just lose internet?
No, you're still here, Jason. Did he?
You froze for a second. You're doing this weird Matrix thing where you freeze and then like the cat.
Yeah. Jeez, am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, I'm
Welcome
back.
back.
Yeah. So How I Met Your Mother is what I heard.
Yes, How I Met Your Mother is as I said, one of my comfort. It's probably like my go-to comfort show is just How I Met Your Mother. It's something that I can turn on. I've seen it so many times, and it's fun. It's got some emotional beats here or there that I can tune into, but like for the most part, it's just something that I can shut my brain off and just play.
Yeah. No, yeah. And to me, I like I've been recently been watching Elementary just because,
yeah,
and that's fun. Like I know some artists will do like Lepresti does a cool down drawing at the end of the night, which is like highly advisable. That's fun. Some do. But I like to just like, let's say it's 2 a.m. I'm like, man, if I start drawing more, I'm gonna be up till 5. I'm like, I want to go to bed by at least 3:30. I'll watch an episode. I know it's 45 minutes long, 48. I can go to bed, be in bed by 3:30, maybe 3:45 if I'm lucky. But yeah, so I like watching, compressing time and knowing what to do at that point. Mainly because, like you, I'm sure, like I have work, I have everything, so I don't start working on comics and art until late. So like, is that the case with you? Because you got a family life on top of everything. So how do you juggle it?
So like I'm fortunate in that the job that I have right now, I have hybrid telework. You did briefly. You're good now, Jason.
All right, we'll just keep going. Yeah, you've had a show. Oh, and you could, and Angela's here. You guys can pick it up if.
I'm here. I'm just muted.
So I think he's gonna pop. I think he's popping off and then coming back in to try and figure out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So in terms of managing like the juggle between work and family life and doing comics, we have 2 Jasons, 2 uploading wheels.
I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but I figured I would. So, sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. So
fair enough.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So in terms of managing that aspect, I am fortunate in that like my day job, I do hybrid telework. So I'm like days that I go into the office are like I deal with my professional work and then family life and what have you. And I don't really do much comic stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays because I am just wiped by the end of it. But like Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and then I generally am able to do some stuff. And then my son, he goes to his mom's every other weekend. So on the weekends that I don't have him, I'm able to really just kind of focus in, do a lot of chores around the house, but also make sure that I have some time to do some writing,
right?
And work on stuff like that.
Yeah, if I keep going out, just have a show.
Yeah, I'll take over.
Yeah, Angela,
I'll run this show.
That's advisable. Yeah, I have my internet has the bars, so I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. What?
Basically, we were just discussing. He has a very good life work balance.
Yeah.
That's the gist.
I caught like a quarter of a second, so I know what you were doing.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. No, I also saw. I was like, I'm like, there's two of me here now. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I just left
Kind of
everything.
cool. We had like a little, like the loading button was going at the same time, so it was like
So-
synchronized.
Yeah, like I said,
pretty
I don't
sweet.
know. I don't know. I have all the bars, like it has all the candy bars down there, so it's
Oh.
delicious. But I don't know what's going on. And like I said, Odin, you know how to run a show. Angela knows how to, I'll run a show.
I'll
She has
try.
her show too. So you guys know what to do on YouTube.
I know how to show sumo wrestling.
You know, yeah. There you go. This we'll just dive into chaos and be all about sumo now.
Let's go. So
No.
sumo, what do you think? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, what do you think about sumo wrestling, Odin? Do you like it?
I mean, I can't really say that like I've gone out of my way to watch much, so I don't really have much of an opinion.
Did you watch regular
That's a good
wrestling?
answer. That's a good
I did-
answer.
Did you watch regular wrestling going on?
I did watch regular wrestling, especially when I was growing up.
Define regular though. Do you mean pro wrestling? Or
Yeah,
like
pro wrestling,
Greco-Roman
not
pro,
actual.
pro wrestling, but my brother did actually compete in Greco-Roman
nice.
wrestling in high school, and he won some pretty
Cool.
big competitions. He actually coaches wrestling now, so I have watched my fair share of Greco-Roman
Yeah.
style. So
Mm.
that's
So-
just
Wait, did I
that's
just
just like
say that?
normal
Isn't it
wrestling that you would do.
yeah,
I did say it right?
Greco-Roman, right? Yeah.
He's Canadian. You have to forgive him.
Odin's not Canadian.
He's my other co-host. I can totally say that. No, I'm talking about Jay.
Oh, Jay.
Jay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's all right.
what does he hate? He probably hates Canada. Also, you should have heard everything that he hates. He was just going off. Like, it was
Man, I'm kind of sad I missed that.
It's
I
okay.
have to
You should be
check the
happy.
rewatch on that one.
No, you don't need to rewatch that. That's fine. He just sat there raging against everybody, raging against the diet of the light.
I do a sumo wrestling stream every other month. Jay, this guy, is my co-host,
Mhm.
and we watch. It's like late because we watch live from Japan, so it's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
It's a lot of
Jay-
fun. So if you want to check it out, subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, subscribe. Her link is. In
I
the
am
description below.
subscribed to your channel. I just
Come on.
I haven't gotten a chance to check that out. Like
That's all right.
admittedly, like it's funny because I used to do armed security and I used to work a lot of night shifts.
Oh,
And so like I used to be up that late. Like now I work like a day job and I'm like that weasel that is like, man, I don't stay up past 8:30. What are you fucking talking about? Like I go to bed by 9. Like this is ridiculous.
I understand. I am the same way every time we have a tournament. So I get
Yeah.
you.
No, I'm always up late. I
Yeah.
have to be. It's the only time I have to work on anything. You know, it like yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I was freezing up for a
No,
minute
I
there.
do not.
What? What's Mo saying?
He's saying that I advertise him as sumo streams. Oh, but I gatekeep him. Yes, I have not invited him. We should invite Sumo on as a panelist.
I don't think sumo goes on streams.
He said he did say if I would have asked him, he might have. So I can ask him again. KSSS has never gone on the stream, and he finally went on one last week.
Yeah, he sounds like Christian Slater a little.
Christian
bit.
Slater. I was calling him like it's a Gundam, and then he sounded like Jack Nichols, the actor.
Son.
And then all of a sudden, I started hearing
Nicholson.
Christian Slater. It was a
There-
mixed
Nicholson.
bag.
There's a son after Nichols. Son.
Nicholson. Well, there's which one is the golfer? I give up. Okay, let's talk more about other things. Jack Nicholson.
No, we're just gonna talk about this. Odin doesn't need to pitch anything. You just need to talk about.
I mean, hey, that's fair.
Oh, you're right,
I'm
Jack
cool
Nicholson.
just
I'm
hanging
sorry, Mr. Nicholson. Okay, let's go.
No, it's so. A lot of your comics that you write or stories that you write are all.
Oh my god.
What did Mo do?
Sorry.
What did
Logan refers to the era of his life where he would lurk outside of his ex's homes with binoculars and a butcher knife, making sure no other men showed up as working armed security. Okay.
No, but
We're not
that
doing-
is
I do
a
that,
very
but no
funny
knife.
image to put in your head, Mo.
I do that, but no butcher knife. Safety first.
PODF.
What's up, ODF?
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
So a lot of the stories you write and stuff, they're obviously about what interests you, like history and stuff like that.
Of
Do
course,
you ever, and you do have the embrace as well. Do you find yourself ever maybe wanting to like venture out or stuff like maybe doing like a noir thing or like doing a crime novel?
I did a
Like,
noir
like any-
thing.
You did? What'd you do?
Judex.
Oh, Judex. That's right. I forgot about Judex. I have Judex.
It's like a pulp. It is literally a pulp noir.
It's like about the
Is there something
shadow,
you haven't?
right?
Yeah. Is there something that I haven't dived into
It's in
that
France.
I'm looking to? Is that the question, Jason?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at dabbling into a bit more sci-fi. I have a character that I've been working on for a while called Janice that I have to do a lot of research on for like on how time travel and stuff works. But so that's been interesting. Like I have his design down. I have like what I want the story to be, but I need to do research on how to make the story work. Guys, like science fiction is.
Go ahead, keep going.
I was just saying, like science fiction. Probably the biggest advice that I got from science fiction, I got from Aaron Neff, was he was telling me that when you create science fiction, like the whole point is that the world has to function. You have to figure out how everything works. You have to meticulously plan everything out, because one wrong step and you completely shatter the audience's suspense of disbelief, especially in sci-fi. Because that's just how it goes. And so you need to know the metaphysics of your world and how they compare to the world that we live in to make it really work and sing.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's been a lot of work, but it's really cool. Horror would be a fun genre to explore, and I've written a couple of horror scripts way back when. Nothing that got published, but I submitted a few things. But yeah, like
so when you're because you're still delving about these ideas, fleshing them out, whenever it comes time to actually push them forward into reality, how do you determine which, like, to team up with an artist or something like that? Like, what factors do you look for when comparing? Because you have a lot of different genres. Dean was fantastic for The Embrace. You got amazing people working on your Elysium Field projects and everything like that. How do you determine who to mingle with?
Well, so I think a lot of that depends on when I'm establishing what I want to work on. Like when I'm establishing the IP or the project, I kind of I play around with how I want the aesthetic to be, right? And so then I go and I try to find artists that match that kind of aesthetic. And I'll when we're doing Judex, like I knew that I wanted to have it be this kind of black and white Sapatone film feeling, kind of like that's, I wanted it to look like an old black and white movie. And so that's where I started looking, as I started looking at a lot of, high contrast art, right? Like heavy darks and lights, black and white art and everything like that. That's how I found Fabrizio Ugolini, as I found his, he had done this beautiful portrait of Morbius from Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
Or Morpheus from Sandman. I apologize. Tired.
How dare you?
But like he and it was just beautiful. Like it, and that was, and it was like, okay, this is the right guy for it. Like it was just beautiful freaking portrait of the guy. And then I went to his profile, and sure enough, there was like a whole bunch of sequential pages that he had done in that same kind of black and white style for this detective noir book. And I was like, yep, this is it. This is what we want.
So
it's just,
you scour what do you look? You look at like what, Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. You like go to like freelance.com or something. Like you go to like certain Illustrator or stuff like that.
The predominant places that I look are Facebook has a fantastic like indie comics.
Mm-hmm. See you. Yeah, I'm part of a few groups.
Yeah. They have tons of groups that connect artists with writers all the time. Plenty of groups where artists showcase their portfolios. How to Draw Comics, run by Clayton Barton, is actually genuinely fantastic for that, because you'll scroll through a whole bunch of those and like a whole bunch of posts, and we'll find like 5 or 6 people that have posted something up recently and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit that guy up with a friend request and inquire about rates in case I have a project upcoming that I think they'd be a good fit for. And then ArtStation is a really good tool because that's where most professionals are posting up their portfolios to shop to major publishing companies and everything like that.
Okay.
So it's a good resource to do that, and you can narrow down what specific mediums you want to look at, and it's good for like every art media that you can imagine, from 2D sequential art to 3D modeling and animation.
Nice. Yeah, so there you go. If you're an artist watching this, thank you, by the way. If you want to look into how to get it work, post. There you go. There's some good tips there to post to those areas, or follow some Facebook feeds. Like I said, I'm in several groups. I never post anything because I have my own thing. I'm too busy. But ODEN has hit me up to do a piece, and I don't mind if it's the person and the page and the rate is right. I'll do something. But and I'm sure with you, ODEN, you're the same. You're still. See, it happened again. I froze again, didn't I?
A little. You're good, man. You're good now.
I blacked out. I saw my screen black out. So you're doing so much. You have so much out there. Like Irene has hit you up for edits, but let's say somebody wanted you to write something. Are you open for commission?
Absolutely. I think that the big thing with me is I need to be able to connect to the project, right? There are certain things where it's you can bring me in to write, but I want to make sure I give you my best work. And so if I can't come up with a story angle, I don't want to just sit here and waste your time or your money. I don't want to be that, that's the nature of it. And I think that that's one of the things that I take pretty big pride in. I did a script for Neff for this series called Maverick's Miss, and I hope that it comes out at some point. I know that he's getting back on his feet and everything that.
He's doing better though. I messaged him a bit ago. He's
doing much better. Yeah. But I went through 9 drafts on Miss.
Oh, what's up, Rick?
I went through 9 drafts before we did the final one. And that's my whole thing is if you tell me something's not right, I'm going to keep going. But what I get dedicated to a story, and I'm going to try and get the best version of it out there.
Yeah. Now, do you find it easier to work and collaborate? I should say collaborate with an artist and you, or another writer and you?
Oh man, so I that's a hard question to answer. There's only really been 2 instances of me working on a project with another writer. That would be American Bliss, where I was writing for Dave Brink over at Genuine Comics, which was a great time. And then obviously doing Maverick's Miss and Judex with Neff. So and those were also very positive experiences. I think that there are drawbacks to both. I think
we'll get that.
The one thing I will say is collaborating with an artist. Everybody has fragile, everyone in the creative scene has
an ego
to an extent, and so I've definitely seen the egos on the artist part get hit really quick on certain projects. There was a book that Neff and I were working on called The Field. And we had one artist lined up initially, and they had turned in this one piece, and we gave them a ton of corrections. And the artist finished that piece, but then ghosted us for the rest of the didn't want to work with us for the rest of the series. And I guarantee you the reason why is because we had so many edits on the original thing, and then he was just not used to getting that.
We'll answer you in a second, Mo. And the other thing is now I can see if it was he had a contract saying, hey, after you get one edit for free, after that's $100 per edit. I could see that then, and then there's no reason to get your ego hurt or anything like that. You're getting paid for it, so you might as well do the edits then. And also, you're working for someone else. They're gonna want changes. They're gonna need, not me. I'm always flawless in everything I do.
Oh,
but
of course,
people,
Jason.
Of course,
we would never expect anything less from you.
No, but you gotta put your ego aside a little bit, and like even whenever I'm in the pit with hockey and all of them, like we'll joke around. Like hockey be like, oh, Jason, you should make his head a little bit bigger, and I'll joke around and be like, oh, I need it bigger, and so I'll blow it up the size of like cartoonish almost. I'm like, is that big enough? And like it's a joke, we're jesting, but I come to find actually, like Billy will give me advice, play all of them. And I come to find a good 90% of the time they're right. You know what I mean? It's like that it did work out better. Change that angle or make that panel this.
Make it bigger.
So yeah, and Mo Neff had a heart attack. So he's been recovering from
about
it.
That in the chat.
Yeah. I saw that he had asked that. So everybody,
he's doing much better.
He is. He's getting there. He's fighting. So yeah, he's. Hey man, we're all troopers here, and he'll be back at it. And I mean, Nuff's a trooper. Like he's been out in the con scene, constantly going around and stuff. So he'll get back at it. So we love you, Nuff.
Yes.
Well, sir. And hey, Nuff, if you ever hear this, you can come on after you're better and talk about stuff. More than welcome. He's helped us out. He's helped me out. And stuff like that, as far as like promotions and everything like that. So I'm more than happy to return the favor. And he's a good dude. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm happy I got to meet everybody at Baltimore. Like, it was fun. I liked it. It was just I didn't really like the area a whole lot. Baltimore's a fantastic place, I'm sure, but the area we were in, was
it's iffy. Yeah, no, I
it's
get
a little
it.
iffy, dude. I mean, there was a guy, dude. When we were leaving, like there was a guy just in the middle of the street, like cracked out, just like swaying back and forth in the middle of the road. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Big cities.
I don't need this. Hey, I've been downtown.
Specifically Baltimore, though. It was it was crazy. Like a few years ago, someone was doing like a superhero book in Baltimore, and I thought that was like the fact that nobody had decided to do that before was like mind blowing to me, because it's like the perfect setting for like a vigilante book.
Oh, dude, like dude,
Baltimore is insane. There's some crazy shit that happens there.
Like I've growing up, when I was able to drive, I'd go to downtown Cleveland, go bar hopping, and I would walk through Cleveland and be fine. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And granted, it was also like 20 something years ago, but either way, I didn't see people like you get approached by homeless people, ask for money, and I used to walk all the time in Fort Lauderdale, everywhere, because I couldn't drive. Never had a problem. Like I never saw anything insanely like there was some cracked out shit that I saw there. So yeah, but. It was. I'm sure it's a great city. I'm sure it's fantastic. But
you just need to know where to go. Basically,
you need to know where to go.
You learn living in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bash like Cleveland. They call Cleveland the dirty nickel sometimes and it's not the dirty nickel planet. But every city has its problems. It's just where that convention center is. I was like, and not only that, I think the Ravens had a game that Sunday, so it was even more busy. So. Yeah, but so I'm not going this year, and I just can't afford it. So, are you doing any cons coming up?
So then, I'm still waiting to hear back from a few that I've applied to. I know that I'll be at Fairfax Comic-Con in I think that's like late summer. That's the fall. So I'm excited for that, and then I'm trying to find out about a few other ones. I don't think I'll be doing Baltimore this year. The prices for the table are just too much for what I like. What I have in terms of like what I can sell.
Yeah,
I'm not a big enough name, and between the VIP like actors and everything like that that'll be there, and then on top of that. You're always competing with a bunch of like big name artists.
Yeah. Right.
Like you've got Artist Alley, and then there's the professional section where it's just like, hey, here's I think like we had Ryan Otley, Steve Epting, Peter Tomasi, and all of these other guys here. freaking what's his name was supposed to be there too. Joe Cassidy before he passed away. Like he
Oh,
was
wow.
supposed to be in Baltimore last year, and then he passed away. So but at the end of the day, you know, who are people going to come see? Like me, random booth over here that nobody's heard of, or take a pick. And then Jim Lee was there last year as well.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like so it's just like yeah, okay. I'm not going to make any money.
And I get it. And I get it. Like I do get it. And the other problem is like and I do understand why people do it, but like, what are you going to do? Pay $10 for, you know, a Walter Simonson signature? And if it's like $10 for Walter and you have like 5 books, it's $50 right there. Or are you going to go buy one of my comic books? Like you're going to get Simonson's signature.
I mean,
like,
if you have the setup, if you have the banners, if you have the display,
it helps, Angela.
Entice people.
It does entice and it does help, and people.
No, it absolutely does.
Absolutely
but like
does.
the fact of the matter is that like everybody knows it, like especially when you're going at like a bigger convention like Baltimore, people know exactly where they're going to be. Like they have it mapped out where they know exactly where they're going to be going, and they're going straight there. Like, yes, you have people that are wandering the whole convention floor, and you can do well there. Absolutely. But like, it's one of these things where you have to kind of put like what your potential sales are versus what's going to cost a table there. You know, I live close enough to Baltimore, but like, I don't know if I'd want to like drive back and forth between where I live and that convention every day. Like I'd probably want to get a hotel, and the hotels in Baltimore are not freaking cheap. So it's one of these things where like, yeah, it's like $300. I think it's like almost $400 for a table.
Yeah.
In Artist Alley. And then it's like over $1,000 as a vendor.
Wow.
So you do that, and then it's okay, you add that plus your hotel cost. Well, all of a sudden you're in a position where you're pretty like, if you're at our level, it's a pretty much a guaranteed loss in terms of funds.
It's almost more of a networking strategy thing than it is a sales thing. Like you kind of want to get more clientele, more people like interested in what you do, and you're paying. It's almost a promotion. You're paying for promotion, and you might make some sales. Like I kind of broke even, not counting like gas fees or whatever and stuff like that, but at Baltimore. So I did okay, but you're still like, they're still going to be in the negative with food costs and all this other stuff. So it's a promotional thing. You're out there like people that were interested in what I did when I was at Baltimore, and it was a fun time. I had a great time meeting everybody. Like that was obviously to me that not the artists. Obviously, I didn't even walk around and talk to because I couldn't see them. But like I met Odin, I met Neff, I met Freak Girl, Shay, Sai, Stippling Vaughn. Like a lot of people were there. And it was a great time, and that was definitely worth it. But I just can't justify doing it every year. And that's like Odin's saying, you got to balance it. You got to outweigh what's going to, like the smaller shows, like that are like an hour away, 40 minutes away. You can still build that network, and it might cost you like $100 for the table. You'll make that back without a doubt for the day, and plus some, like because it's a smaller con. So you're competing, against other artists, but they're all smaller artists too. So they're going like, they might make like $400. I might make $400. It's worth it. And you also get to talk. I met more cool people just at smaller cons, talking to the people that are passionate about like artwork and comics and writing and like toys even. And I'm not a toy guy, or movies. I love movies. I'll sit there and talk to them about aliens all day long. So it's a lot of fun. And I just find smaller conventions are just more passionate.
Yeah.
What about going to Heroes Con? Is that something you were thinking about, or?
So Heroes Con is one that I want to do. I don't think I'm doing. I'm not doing it this year just because it's far enough away where I'm like, I'm trying to make sure that this year I'm doing mainly conventions that I can drive to.
Okay.
And be able to like do community. Shenandoah, we did get a hotel, but that was because Miranda came with me and she helped out at the table and everything like that. So before that, I had, before Miranda confirmed that she could go, like I had it set up where, Hojo lives down there. He's like not even half hour from the convention center. And so I had it set up where like I was going to crash there for like, cause it's a 1-day convention. So I would just crash there the night and then, headed out the next morning. So like that's the whole thing. And, it was like a little over a 2-hour drive for me to get to it. So it wasn't that bad, but like Heroes Con, that's like a 4 or 5 hour drive for me at least, probably more, because that's down in North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
So like that's me going across state line and what have you. And Virginia's in a small state, and I'm at like the top. I'm towards the top of it, so I'm like it's a trek. But it's definitely a con I want to try and do next year in 2026.
I was just say, with all these, like a lot of people that are kind of in this sphere, in this community, kind of like that seems to be the place people are going. So even to have those, like, the networking and just that synergy and getting to know each, this would be a good atmosphere to go. And especially too, I mean, who knows what could happen in regards to, you're getting your book out there. But yeah, I hope you can do that. I want to go sometime. I don't think it's this year, but
Heroes Con is definitely on the list, because I think that's like the perfect, like, it is a convention that, as far as I can tell, is still very much about the comics, but like it's got a large enough thumbprint where like everyone that I know that goes there does really well if they can pitch their books well. All the people there are there to find out about new comics and buy new books. Like it is kind of what it seems like. If you know how to pitch, if you know how to draw people to your table and what have you, you're going to do well there. And like that's one that I want to make sure that I go to in the next year. And that's another thing, is like right now my display is like it's solid. Like there are pictures of it on Twitter, like of me at the convention, and on Facebook and Instagram of me there, like sitting there. And it's not a bad setup, but like it's like I want to make sure that by the time I go to Heroes Con, I want to make sure I have like like pop-up banners and stuff like that that display like 9 realms, so that way we have things that draw people in.
Yeah, it's a game almost. It's a marketing game. It's a strategy game. You got to think of what to have people at your booth, and what's worth your time, and what's worth our time.
Yeah, that's
Who
good.
did the
It was,
by the
it
way.
was good stuff, man.
Nice.
Hey, good stuff. Awesome.
He crushes the trailers, man. He does such a great job. Very affordable, like easily one of the best recommends that I can give to any.
Him and Red Gaze, good stuff in Red Gaze. They do really good trailers. Yeah, without a doubt. So Odin, I'll showcase what I got in a second. But what is this? What is this over here? Am I just missing this? Get out of here. What's that? Tell us about Elysian Fields.
So Elysian Fields at its base level is Mortal Kombat with heroes of mythology, right? So like it starts off and we get to see Achilles' final battle at Troy. He dies, he goes to the underworld, has about 30 seconds of peace before he's ripped from the arena and ripped from that piece and brought to this arena to fight alongside Heracles and Hippolyta against heroes from completely different mythological pantheons to help Hades regain his dominion over the underworld. So like that's like the baseline story that we have going on with Elysian Fields. And you know, I did this comic originally in 2020 when I first came in to the scene. I did a campaign. It was Elysian Fields issue 0, and we had a lot of success. So we had a lot of success with that. Sorry, I had a brain fart there.
How dare you? This
No.
flawless
Your
stream
screen
that has been going without a hitch. You're fine.
It's okay.
No, you're all good, man. So it did this, had initial success, and this got me like really excited. And then I did the follow-up Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, and it was a massive loss. And like we technically made comparable funds as the first book, but the first book was like half the size of Pyramid Gambit and was a less expensive book. We had considerably less backers on Pyramid Gambit, and as a result, like we brought in over 8K, which is nothing to sneeze at, but the book was more expensive than that. And there were all sorts of other issues that happened behind the scenes that I'm not going to go into. So like for a while, Elysian Fields just kind of had this sourness for me. And like, you know, I then had the idea for the Embrace. And so like that became the focus. And then there was SPQR, and then there was Judex and the Embrace 2. And in all that time, I was doing all of that. Every now and again, I would try to come back to Elysian Fields a little bit because it was a story that I really liked. Right? It's the one that, like, you know, it was the first comic I made for a reason.
Right.
So I would try to like remaster it and what have you, but it just the engagement wasn't there. So I was like, all right, well, I guess it's done. But then I think we were doing the Indiegogo for Judex. I was doing some promotional, and I was in the back rooms, and a whole bunch of people were asking me, like, hey, when are we going to get more like Elysian Fields? I got back to 0 issue, really enjoyed that. I heard there was another campaign, but I didn't catch it. Like, when are we getting more Elysian Fields? I was like, we're not, I think. Like, I didn't think that there was any interest, so I kind of canned it. And they were like, that sucks. We really liked it. And so at that point, you know, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's worth taking a look. And I actually went to because I had posted the original version of Elysian Fields and Pyramid Gambit on Webtoon. And it got over 100 subscribers, over almost 5,000 reads. And the average review was 9.78 out of 10.
Wow, nice.
And so I was just like,
awesome.
Yeah, there's something there. Yeah, there's
so
something,
like there's something here. Yeah. And so at that point I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go back to the beginning and start from scratch. And so that's what I did. We went and I got a completely new art team. I revamped the story. I went back to the first script and really just went to work and built something new out of it. And like, this is the end result, is Elysian Fields Reborn. And like, one of the big things I wanted to make sure that we did for this campaign is show people that the book is done. And so, as Jason is well aware, the first 20 backers got signed and numbered preview proof, not preview, signed and numbered collector proofs. So like, the book's done. And So that's one of the collector proofs. The only thing that we've done since then is we did another pass
Oh,
to
that's so cool.
any remaining spelling errors. We've added in some a few cool things that we got from some editorial notes made on the digital that I sent out to a few people.
So beautiful. Such beautiful art.
It is such a blast to put together, and like it's a genuine treat.
Now, this I really like this back here. If I could get to it. Come on, thumbs. This
Don't show off don't do it.
Not that.
Why?
No, don't do it.
Okay.
Why?
No, he said don't do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh,
There you go.
that's the reason you do it. He says don't do it, so you will do it. It's reverse
No.
psychology.
He told me not to do it. Can't do
Don't do it.
Evil.
I showcased it.
There's
You did.
a 6-page preview for the next book. You get to
Oh,
see
that's okay.
There's six. The
I was gonna say I really like that.
pages for issue 2.
Yeah, I like that.
That have already been done.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, I haven't gotten there yet, Dean.
Yeah, I was gonna. I put a star by it.
What are we starring?
Yeah.
Dean.
So
Dean,
we're gonna be
what are you about?
once Dean gets closer to completing the art of the Embrace 2, because he had some pretty unfortunate happenstances happen to him towards the end of last year. We are going to be doing the Kickstarter of the Embrace 2, and Jason did a fantastic piece that was initially a mini print, but Dean and I loved it so much that it's actually going to be one of the featured covers for the exclusive Kickstarter for the Embrace 2.
Yay!
That's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
I still have the original.
So we'll put that on. We'll put that on there.
I was gonna say I still have the original. If you want that up there,
get
because you
yeah,
paid
man.
for it. So
Yeah, very
it's
cool.
up to you what you want to do with it.
Congrats, Jason.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. That's dope. I appreciate that. But we're here to talk about Elysian Fields.
Anyway, that was a good
Yeah,
segue.
but
I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
So what we have here is, I mean, obviously it's 44 pages of story in an 8.5 by 11 prestige format, 56 pages from cover to cover. We've already hit our funding goal, which is very exciting. We've also hit our first stretch goal, which is unlocked stickers of a very small but beloved character that we've decided to wear as Waldo throughout the entire series, called Hype Guy. He is just a random Greek soldier that shows up in the first 2-page splash of the book, which is Achilles riding in on a chariot, and there's just this one guy cheering him on that just is like the most hyped up person that I've ever seen in a comic page. And so it's our goal to make sure that he has an appearance in every single issue of the book.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
So,
Like a little Easter egg type thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's dope. It's dope. Yeah, but as you saw, like I have one of the proofs, and so the book is done. Like it's finito. So you can back this, and you're gonna get it. Like you're gonna get it in an adequate amount of time, not 7 years. So you'll get it sooner than you think if you're thinking 7 years. So let's go over some of everyone's favorite part, the non-most boring part of the show at all, the tiers. You gotta know what you want. So I can't have my magnifier on. And here, I'll show you why, because I'm sharing my screen. So you get, oh no, you don't see it. Nice. Okay, I got my magnifier on. Yeah, dude, it's like magnified 400%.
K-Pop's entered the chat.
Yeah,
What up,
everybody.
K-Pop? Good to see you.
What's up, K-Pop? After this show, everybody go check out K-Pop's channel. I'm redirecting everybody over. Stick around, because I think she goes live like a little bit after.
That's actually really clever, Mo. I like that. I might, if Mo gives me permission, I might actually use that in future thing. That's great.
So you have just support. You can make a pledge for $1. So this is the first tier here, the digital.
So no, I think that's the tier. That's the tier that you backed on the campaign. It says your selection on that, but we do have a digital for $5.
There it is.
So every single cover of the book is $15, and so that covers your book and your digital. So like, I wanted to make sure that this was as affordable as humanly possible.
Nice.
And I am also not a fan of, oh, well, I have this variant that I like have a big artist on, so I'm going to charge like twice as much as what I would charge for my other cover, but it's not like a limited thing. I'm charging you more money for it. And so like that, and it's something that I've seen other creators do. It's just not my whole thing. I would rather have hundreds of people back at a cheap thing than maybe like 100, then maybe like half as much or a quarter as much back at something more expensive. I wanted to make this as affordable as humanly possible.
Like I can see if it's and I could see if it's a limited cover, like 100 people back, you print 102 copies, like in case something happens. That I get at that point if you're going to do that. But if you're just going to print a massive overhaul of them, don't charge extra. Like, that's just ridiculous. And so you have 15 for each variant cover, correct? So you could pick and choose which cover you like, or you can get them all, right?
Yeah, you can get them all. And like that was another thing I did is so we have the box that collects like pretty much everything, right? You get all the covers of the book, you get one of the t-shirts, you get some standees, like it, and it's in this collector's box. But what you can also do is you can go in and you can add all the covers onto your thing, and it's like $70 as opposed to the $200 to get them all on the box and all the cool stuff.
So you scroll past them, but you have shirts, you got hats, you got a bunch of cool stuff up in here. What's this $300 one? What's this?
So this is an upgrade to. So like we have the Coffer of Glory, which is like that's our collector box. We get all the covers and everything. The Panoply upgrade, you get the same thing except you also get metal covers for each of the books.
Fancy. Look at you go. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Oh, you have original art?
Yep, we have Will Warreyes' original cover pencils for the main cover of the book for $500. Nice. Von Randall's cover for $1,000. That's completely traditionally inked, and V. Ken Marion's cover art for $2,000, and that's traditionally penciled and inked as well.
Wow, nice.
That's
and of course you get whichever edition of the book is associated with that cover.
I would hope so. Man, I paid $2,000 to get a book.
You would be surprised. I remember back in the early days, you would have people have original art tiers, and it was just the original art piece. You didn't get a book along with it. I'm just like, how the fuck do you justify that?
I don't understand that either. Every campaign I've ever done where there's original art, you get a copy of the book at least also. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're paying hundreds of dollars for something and you don't even get to read it. I gotta back it again. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know why people, and hey, if you do that, that's on you. Fine. This is the way you run your campaign. Good on you.
It's just not what I would recommend.
It's just not what I would recommend doing. So I don't want to slight people who do it. But I guess I am slighting them in that same regard. So if you have the scratch to put together, definitely, if you get the original art, dope. Yeah. But I think I like the 200 as much as I love the metal covers. If you could do 200, do 200, do 300. If you do it. Why not get those metal covers? That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And like you said, you could add on everything, but you can't add on the metal covers, right?
No. That's specifically for the Panoply upgrade, and that's actually a limited tier. We're only doing 20 of those.
Ooh, yeah, smart, because that gets expensive. If you gotta print too many of them, and plus it makes it more limited. That collectability factors, and then it ends up being there, and it's nice. You'd be surprised. A lot of people do flip these. A pretty good amount of money. Elysian Fields, everybody. Odin's baby.
Good. I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna read that I got. I'm gonna read it because I got the digital one too. I could just check that out rather than having to worry about getting my phone out and trying to speaking
of digital, all these really good price points. So
it's a great price point. And even like I said, like times are tough, but hey, at the price point that you got for $15, you get the digital and original copy. You can't beat that, and obviously with shipping. But yeah,
and like that's the whole thing is we're like obviously we've reached our funding goal, so you're gonna get the books, and then we have some very exciting stretch goals that we're doing as per what we did with the Embrace. We're doing cover upgrades for like at each $1,000 upgrade. So like we're coming up on our first cover upgrade at 4K, which will upgrade the cover for the main cover to a lava holofoil.
Ooh.
Which is a fun callback because when we did Elysian Fields issue 0, we made that like when we funded and crossed over, we made that everyone got a lava holofoil edition of the book. And so that was the big thing, and it looked beautiful on that cover. It's going to look even better on this. I actually have proofs that are being done of all of the stretch goal upgrades of each cover that I'll be doing an unboxing of here this week when it comes in.
Nice. Yeah, that's like those also cost money. You do the proofs and make sure everything is nice and tight. So there's a lot more that goes into these than just like, oh, I got the money and I can just print the books. Well, you got to make sure the books are right. You got to, So, and if they have to go back, like, oh, I need to order more proofs. So, yeah, and those foil is that holofoil. That's not cheap. So yeah, it's nice to have that as a stretch goal then at that point. But dope stuff. And I've always said I like the stretch goals that improve the book more or add more pages or
100%.
Yeah, it's like tchotchkes are good. I like trading cards fine, but I'm a middle-aged man. I never know what to do with these things. So
it's 100%. Like I think we've got like a couple of tchotchkes on this stretch goal list. Like I've got the hype guy sticker, and then we got I got this very prominent Instagram artist called the Angel Incarnate did this really funny bookmark of Achilles where he's screaming, "I'm a model of mental health." It's an homage to like a Batman panel from the 90s where like Batman's like, "I'm the model of mental health." So it's the same kind of deal. She had done it with her version of Achilles from her webcomic Hounds of Achilles. And so I was like, this is awesome. I'd love to have you draw our version. And so we got that together. And so that's going to be a bookmark. Right. And so then it's a practical thing. It's like, hey, you can use this to do the book. And then we announced our first spin-off Song of Hippolyta. We posted up the test page from her profile. And I think it's at 6,500. We're going to unlock an ash can that people can add onto their book for only $5.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And it'll be an exclusive thing that you can only get through this campaign. Yep. Otherwise, that profile will be will be in the second issue of Elysian Fields Reborn.
All right, let's get this at 6,500 tonight. Let's
now.
Go.
I'd be happy.
No, that'd be dope. That'd be cool to get. But like you said, you're funded. That's great. But we want to get, the more that gets into this campaign, the more you get back by the quality of the
100%.
Not only that, you can then hire more people to do the next issue or
and that's my exciting thing is if we're able to cross the 10K threshold, we put forward immediate production onto book 2. And that really accelerates how that comes along.
At 44 days to go, it's not unheard of.
Not impossible.
Not impossible.
Well, it's very much in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
And I do know that there's going to be a lot of people who back in the last week because it is Kickstarter. People want to make sure that they don't get the sneak up charge. So they're trying to make sure that they have the money to back when the funds take out. So now, I completely understand that.
Do you plan on doing an Indiegogo and a Fund My Comic and all that stuff? Or you just
I might do Fund My Comic. I'm pretty much done with Indiegogo.
Okay.
Shadow banning on my last couple of books has really soured me on them, and I'm just done.
From what I hear, they're not shadow banning anymore, but also I hear though you don't get a lot of money back as a creator. A lot goes more to IGG.
It's 8% platform fees, and I like it. Like they're like between the lack of support you get from them, they haven't updated their UI in years. It's still as garbage as it. Like I think back when I started, it worked well enough, and that was fine. But with how much everyone else has developed their UIs on like how easy it is to make a campaign page and everything like that, there's really no excuse. They like if they aren't going to invest in their platform and improve it and make it better, why should I continue to do business there?
That's true.
Well, there you go. So, but it's done, so you can back it here.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do understand the people that wait because with Kickstarter it doesn't come out right away, so you want to make sure you have your money around that time that it's going to. But you can still back it and know you're going to get it because it's finished. So pledge now, pledge often. Back, whatever you want to call it.
Your own wink, wink.
And I think, he does web pages. I mean,
I know, and he and I have talked. Doing a 9 Realms publishing website is on the docket in the next year if I have the capital to do it. It's going to be a bit tight though. So I'm I have put in an offer on a house. It's been accepted, so it's just getting through the financing and everything like that. So the next year is going to be tight. Like it's a whole thing of depending on how this book does and how the conventions go. This might be a year this might be like the year where I kind of take a bit of a break to focus on making sure that the move in the house goes well and everything like that. But
But like I said, this is done.
This is done.
You can back it now, and you're going to get it.
Yes.
And if you back into it. More other people back into it, I should say. The more improvements he's going to make on that book, make it nice and shiny for you. Yeah, nice.
And just also, you mentioned going to Fund My Comic. Will there be new covers available, or are you going to keep the same covers and so forth on that campaign as well? Will there be any changes? Or is there something that's available right now on Kickstarter that may not be available on My Comic?
I mean, we might I don't know. I know that we might do like a Fund My Comic exclusive cover, but I don't know. Like the main intent was to do the main thing was to do the Kickstarter, and then the Fund My Comic. I haven't put as much effort into it. Like I really think that we'll be able to reach what we need through the Kickstarter, but I'm probably going to end up doing a Fund My Comic as well. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And how many pages again is this book?
It's 44 pages of story.
Oh, it's 44 pages and you have 44 days to go. That's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
What? I love it. Wait, sorry, Jason. I thought you were frozen.
No, I was listening.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I was listening.
Nice never word. I'm not going to talk anymore. I think I just
nice commies. What do you? What?
Nice comedic timing is what I was trying to say.
If you say so. No, everybody go get.
Hi, Courtney.
Hey, Courtney. Go get Elysian Fields, everybody. Link is pinned to the top of the chat in the description below. We were streaming to Facebook as well, so hopefully somebody out there likes comics and wants a great story and a fun time and some cool artwork. So go check it out. Odin's everywhere. So, as far as books go, he's on everybody's project. So, So any last questions in the chat?
Other than Mo's ranting questions, something about a midget and someone named Clarence.
Do you have any relevant questions in the
no,
chat?
I starred them. Hold on. No, I'm not going to say them, but he's Odin acknowledged them. Let's just say that. So at least Mo is not being gated completely.
Hold on, I got somebody come and knock on my door.
Me. Oh, I thought he was going to just close down the stream. He's getting tacos tonight. I bet that's what he's talking about.
Cranberry Langer's asking what my favorite sci-fi book independent is.
Nice question.
Honestly, probably Mavericks by Global Frequency Studio.
Oh,
Like
cool.
that's the first one that comes to my head. It's either that or Star Circuit by Joe Catapano.
Very cool.
Why didn't I hear Absolute or Froggy? Why?
Because it was
Is it your fantasy?
the question was sci-fi and
Your
Frog.
fantasy?
Absolute is kind of a science fiction.
Oh, that one.
But that's fine. Oh,
Okay.
whatever. I don't exist. And Cranberry, I'm going to be sending your books out, your sketch cover out. I took it to work with me to mail, and I forgot to mail it. So I'll be mailing that out tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, those are Star Circuit's dope, dude. Joe Catapano's awesome. Yeah, sorry. No, my nephew was asking me. He's going to shower, and they take like 4 hours in the showers.
No, tacos. I said you're having tacos and
No, I don't know
Ray.
what's going on for dinner. I don't know if I have to make dinner or what. So,
Hey, Scarlett. Good to see you.
Scarlett, everybody goes.
This guy's here too because it was ass.
Shaboopy.
Absolute. Sorry.
Everybody goes.
Oh, shit.
Behave. It's Shelby. Absolute's a great book.
I was just gonna say to go subscribe to American Discord, but not now. Everybody
No,
go
don't do
unsubscribe.
it.
Unsubscribe from American Discord.
Unsubscribe from him and then subscribe to Scarlett and K-pop.
Yeah, don't go buy the GI
And even
Joe
subscribe to this guy.
cover.
This guy has a channel. Whoops. Wait, which one? This one. Oh, he has a channel too. These guys have channels.
Everybody has a channel. They're on YouTube.
I have a channel. She has a
don't
channel.
go buy the GI Joe cover. Go back Elysian Fields is what I say.
Yeah, I mean that I would certainly appreciate it, but
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain people are going to buy the Shelby Robertson GI Joe cover.
Not whenever the graded one is sold out. Who wants an
Fair
ungraded copy of Shelby's crap?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Mmm.
What I say?
Yeah, and it's just like
What I say?
salty.
I don't know
Woo!
what I said. No, so there's no more questions from the no more relevant questions from the
Oh,
peanut
he's happy
gallery
about
over there.
something.
Yeah.
And there are no questions. Anyway, this is a fun stream.
Yeah, Angela,
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. Angela, I'm sorry that you did not do as well as you would have liked during the mythology.
I was going to avoid that, but yeah.
Oh, that was great. Funny thing about that was I actually got quite a lot of those right whenever I was watching. I was like, I didn't comment in there do it, but I actually was like, oh, I probably got maybe 60%, 70% right. So I was like, I didn't.
Hey, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I know a little bit about a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I joked. I said if it was a Bible quiz, I probably would have done better.
You would have done a lot better.
But anyway, I did learn stuff. So
no, that's the funny thing. I blank all the time when I'm talking about something, but whenever like it comes to stuff like that, every now and then it'll just click, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Like whenever I have I'm like, oh, that's that. So yeah, I'm terrible with everything. Odin, I got one last question.
yeah.
Now you answered it before, obviously, and you cheated. So aside from Dr. Manhattan, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, are you talking about the last time you asked me this and I said quantum being?
I want all the power.
I'm the most omnipotent being ever.
You can't argue with that one.
Oh, I love pulling that. I think I said on the last episode that I did that when I was working at Starbucks. So they were like, "What if you could have any power? What would you have?" As like a team building thing. I was like quantum being, and I had 3 people look at me as like, "You're a fucking asshole."
All right. I got a different question. I got a different question for you, but kind of similar. If you could be any street level superhero, who would you be?
Ooh,
I had one.
Man, street level, specifically Spider-Man.
Nice. There you go.
That was a good. How about if you were a Greek god? Which Greek god would you be?
Oh man,
his head's gonna explode. Don't do that.
I know, but I mean, he's into that thing, and even if he said it, I wouldn't know what it is anyway. I would look it up though.
You know what? I think I'd actually like to. I'd like to be either Charon or Hermes. I think that would be like a really
Hermes.
fun
I know who Hermes is.
Charon. That's a different one.
So Charon is the ferryman of the dead. And I think
that's right. I learned that from
I like about both him and Hermes is their connection to people's journey to death is like kind of getting like I imagine that they probably hear people's stories as they're taking them to wherever they need to go. And I feel like that would be like a really cool thing to do. Plus they're like the least shitty on like the Olympian spectrum.
Oh,
Like they're like Hermes is definitely a bit shittier than Charon, but like if you look at it, if you look at the deeds that these characters did in their mythologies, like I don't feel I'd be comfortable being any of like the main Olympians. Like they're all assholes.
They're all terrible individuals. Completely deplorable. No, and Charon actually is like the anglerfish in Frog G. That's Charon. That's my version of Charon.
That's awesome.
He takes Frog into across the river to the island.
Cool.
So he's
I love
Charon.
anglerfishes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of things that we did in Frog also that are mythologically based that people may not even know. But so like I said, I'm not a dum-dum. I may look like one, but I'm not a dum-dum. No, I like Charon and Hermes. Those are dope people. And Spider-Man's a good choice. I like that too. So
yeah, it was really, really good stuff.
Well, this was a good one, a longer one than normal, but we had a lot of fun. That's why they tend to go longer whenever. But everybody, please back Elysian Fields. Like I said, links are everywhere. Odin's everywhere. Links are in the description below.
Yeah.
Thanks to the mods, chat.
Thank you,
everybody
mods,
for coming out. Angela for co-hosting. Odin for being Odin. And I'm going to hit this button right here.
Long day